Hi and welcome to another tutorial. In this tutorial, we're going to learn how to balance off accounts or to close off accounts. At the end of each accounting period, accounts needs to be closed off, and this is normally done to see how much the business owes its suppliers or creditors and how much the debtors of the business owe it. So this is done by adding up the totals on both sides of the account. For this example, we have Jebwanya who is a debtor who made 3 transactions through the month of January. So the first transactions that he made were done on the 5th of January. So he bought goods from our business worth 200 kwacha on credit. So he did not pay for those goods. So we had to debit his account. And then on January 60th, he bought more goods worth 400. And then on January 10th, he paid part of the money that he owed the business with an amount of 100 kwacha. So to balance off this account, Jewel's account, we need to add the totals on both sides. So to add the totals on the debit side, we're going to get 600. And on the credit side here, we're going to get 100. But then when we're balancing off accounts, we get the largest total, and that's what we indicate on each side of the account, on the credit side and on the debit side. So in this case, the largest total is 600. So that's what we indicate as well on the credit side. Okay. So now, we still have a difference on this side, on the credit side. The difference here is 500. So the difference, after we subtract 100 from 600, needs to be indicated, and it has a detail of balance carried down. So whenever we are entering the balance carried down, the date that we put is the last date of that accounting period. So in this case, this business closes on the 31st of January. So that's what we indicate there. So now the last part that we need to do is to transfer this balance onto the next accounting period. So we need to indicate the first date of the accounting period. So in this case, this business resumes its work on the 1st of February. So that's what we indicate just under the debit side. So the description for the balance that is taken to the next account is called the balance brought down. So in this case, we have closed off this account. And to show that we have closed off the account, we need to indicate double lines under the totals. So what this means is that Jebwada still owes the business at the end of the month, and the amount that he owes the business is 500 kwacha, which we take to the next accounting period. Now notice that the entries on the debit side are more than the entries on the credit side. The balance is brought down on the debit side. Now this situation is referred to as a debit balance. When you have more entries on the debit side, and then after balancing off the accounts, the totals on the debit side are higher than the totals on the credit side. We usually end up with a debit balance. Now let's look at another example where business owes money. Now here we have our creditor, who is D. Mwansa. So on the 1st of January, our business purchased goods worth 5,000 from D. Mwansa. And we partly paid for those goods on the 10th of January using our cash, and the amount that was paid was 2,000. Now, to close off this account, again, we do the same. We add up the totals on both sides. In this case, on the debit side, we're going to get 2,000, but before writing down the total value, we also need to add the totals on the credit side. And then we get the highest total, and that's what we indicate on both accounts, sides of the account. So on the credit side, we have 5,000. So comparing the two, 5,000 and 2,000, we can see that we have a higher number on the credit side. So that's the number that we indicate on both sides. Now to balance off this account, we have to subtract the side with the lowest total from the side with the highest total. So here we have 5,000, and remember this side we had a lower total, which was 2,000. So that's what we subtract from 5,000. So after subtracting, we are going to get 3,000. And this is our balance. So the description will be balance carried down, which is abbreviated as balance CD. And this is always indicated on the last accounting day of the period. So in this case, it will be January 31st. So after finding the balance, we have to now transfer this balance onto the next accounting period. We have to transfer it to the first day of the accounting period. So we need to close off this account by adding double lines. Then we transfer this balance to the next day of the accounting period, the first day, and this will be called the balance carried brought down, which is abbreviated as balance BD.